What'd you like about Lloyd tonight?
Lloyd was good because he was competing in the zone and, a couple mistakes to some lefties. But if you're consistently in the zone, the percentages are going to be in your favor. So you can get away with mistakes like that. You basically buy yourself room for error when you're throwing the ball, really like he did, Sharm did, to also start for the other team. And then Combsy did as well. So those guys were good about being in the zone, and then the at-bats probably could have been more competitive too. So who's doing well, who's at fault, it's kind of tough to say, but you'd like to give the pitchers some credit.
What's impressed you about Combs since he arrived on campus and taking over for his older brother?
He didn't come in with any sort of trying to be his brother or one-up his brother or anything like that. Anyone who's been around him, he's his own guy. And it's a refreshing, authentic personality, which I'd like to think kind of is representative of our program. So he's throwing the ball well, too.
What's similar about him to Aaron as a player, and what's maybe different?
Probably fun to be around, good teammate, willing to take direction. Both guys are very good at fielding their position, which can be an X factor. Both guys aren't scared. And if you look at the pitchers we've had, we've been blessed with some good arms that Frank has helped, and they've made a bigger jump, so their stuff is really good. But I feel like we've had as many guys as anyone in the league that maybe don't have big league stuff, but they're not afraid to compete, and we're willing to give them the ball, whether it be Kirby, Xander, Stom, Redmond, and both Combs brothers now. I don't want to leave anybody off because those are my favorite kind of guys, although the big stuff guys are fun to watch too.
What did you see from Dane Morrow tonight, and what stood out about him this fall?
Yeah, Dane has really used the opposite side of the field, taking the ball to left field very well. I believe in Nashville, but he's had some really good at-bats where he's taken strong pitching the other way, but tonight you saw him kind of open it up to the pole side there and hit a homer. And, some guys have shined, the last two games, and others haven't. But if you look at our group on the whole, I think everybody's put at least a couple good days together at a time. So good for him. He's done well, and I know he wanted to get out there and win because the team fell short, and he, like a lot of guys, could have done some things better on the bases and other things.
When you're looking at potential weekend starters, what's kind of the benefit of having Lloyd in one of those spots?
Well, I think his experience, he's done a little bit of everything for us. So he's Mr. Reliable, in my opinion, which has earned him a lot of latitude as far as how we use him, whether he has success or not. He's going to be in the mix, and I think a lot of it's based off last year, but also how he's attacked this year in particular. And we'll see. We've got a handful of guys that we either inherited as kind of banged up or injured a little bit, and AJ Russell and some other guys are trying to come back. So I'm willing to bet when we start the year, there's going to be more opportunities than there will be come May or hopefully June.
With Levi's home run the other night, just what did you see there, and was the power one of the reasons that you all were so excited he made it to campus?
Yeah, I think made it to campus. Originally when we recruited him, it was just kind of a great student, great family, good kid, could play any position. He was catching, pitching, playing all positions in the field, and he could swing it a little bit. He's always had a knack for hitting, and then he just kept getting stronger. But originally during the recruiting process, he was not as strong as he is now. And that ball he hit in Chattanooga was impressive. It was loud, it was hit to the biggest part of the park, and it went well over the fence, and it was off an excellent pitcher.
How was Stone developed at first defensively, and kind of what's been the balance of working him there in catcher?
Yeah, last year is where a lot of that took place behind the scenes. Was you got extra time, why wouldn't you go over to first base? And it's not like you didn't catch all kinds of bullpens. But again, being a guy who wasn't playing in the spring and wasn't worn out by any means, it's a big physical dude. He's always looking to work hard. He's got great energy. Mix in some reps at first, and we told him that, and he took it and ran with it and did it 1,000% or at 100 miles an hour, however you want to phrase it. And I think now you're seeing the benefits. And that's what happens with a lot of kids, at least in our experience here, is you guys see, kind of the end result of something that started maybe 365 days prior to that, and the guy was on a mission to get better at it.
Over 7,000 people tonight. What do you think of the crowd, and how nice is it? You had recruits here, former players. How much did that benefit the program?
Yeah, it was incredible. I got a bunch of texts from people that said congrats on the crowd, and so I think pictures were circulating a little bit. But on a football weekend, when that's probably where people's focus is, and it's not necessarily baseball season, I mean, just it was unbelievable. And they were active and they were into it, and most of them were here till the very end. So a very special environment to be able to do in this Fall World Series deal, and I hope with roster changes we can keep doing this because, some people may phase it out by the end of the year because we play outside opponents, but for us, with how many leaders we lost last year, it's important for us to do this. And again, I hope with the changes coming, we can do it. We have a kid that's an infielder misjudge a ball in the outfield. The lights are usually a little tricky here anyway. We're yelling at our catchers because there's no one available to catch a pitcher in between innings, and the catcher was on base to end the inning. So it's kind of, in pitch counts and things like that, we're having a tough time dividing into two, getting after it. As much as people want to say we got too many guys, come to the park and watch what we got right here, which is why we had the recruits doing it. But anyway, just blessed overall for this whole deal that took place tonight. I hope our guys finish the fall the way they need to on Sunday, but we won't be doing it in front of a crowd like this.
I got one more for you. I heard you tell John and Vince this week that kind of how the guys showed up in Chattanooga. That was the first time you maybe realized, okay, we have a chance to be good. Did you have any similar thoughts tonight?
Yeah. First of all, I mean, our first year here, our interviews were very important, but now the fan base is a little bigger. I was wondering if I said something wrong there or it was the time to say it, but I was just being honest. And I told the team, I just said, that's it. Like, whatever that is or it is, just that vibe and that readiness before that game was perfect. And I don't know if it was because of the rain or the big crowd or, it's near the end of the semester, whatever. Maybe there was extra smack talk between the two teams, but it was even better than our game against Troy and against Western Kentucky, which is impressive because it's just the team split into two. Encouraging sign, but you got to do it more than one night. And so far, I'd say, tonight was a little sloppy, but the competitiveness has been there throughout this week.